We all do puja together for the holy mountain of Sagarmatha, and we request him to, let us come to Sagarmatha and let us summit the peak.
Breaking news coming in, a severe earthquake has hit Nepal.
It's the worst quake to hit the eastern Himalayas in 80 years.
A magnitude 7.9 killer that struck 83 kilometers northwest of Kathmandu.
And far away from Kathmandu, the expedition Everest Base Camp, right in the middle of the busy climbing season.
Quake triggered a massive avalanche at Mount Everest.
It was a shallow quake and its impact was huge.
I'm not able to see anything.
There are some people who are not afraid of heights. They are not afraid to face the wrath of nature. They are not even afraid of death. These are not extraordinary human beings, just ordinary people, determined to make their dream of climbing Mount Everest a reality. This is the story of such men, soldiers of the Indian Army, and their journey to the top of the world. Their plan is to summit Everest at a height of 8,848 meters and clean the mountain along the way. But does destiny have other plans? Leading the expedition is Major Ranveer Singh Jamwal, a mountaineering enthusiast who has climbed the 4 highest peaks across 4 continents and successfully summited Everest, not once, but twice. Will he be able to lead a 3rd successful trip to Mount Everest?
As we see in a Siklai, as we say so, पेट में रोटी, हाथ में सोटी और कदम छोटी छोटी.
Joining them is the NDTV crew.
What you are seeing and what the camera is seeing is a bit different.
जब भी लगा काम नहीं कर रहा है, तो निकल रहा है ये, आप देखते जाओ.
The crew includes 24-year-old Aamir Peerzada, who's grown up in the mountains of Kashmir. He lost his father when he was 12, and his mother is anxious about his first trip to the Everest Base Camp.
Aamir saman won ki bakas Everest spert. Bagais varia parishan mit dem na orchut khasun ke endum na bakas mish varia sho mit dem atya khas ke shun parvat bas chay raz khushi moyshuz da pa atya khas.
यार अल्टीमेट फोटो लिया है इसने.
The summit was important to us. The main reason was it was the 50th year of the first Indian ascent, and it wasn't easy to select 30 mountaineers, and we had to go through a very enduring process. We have around a database of 1,000 mountaineers with our Indian Army, and we selected initially around 70 people, and from those 70 we did a selection training at Manali. For around 1 month we were there in the whole winter. We endured basically around -20-degree temperature, and we went through around minus 10 to 15 feet of snow there, and we did the summit of Friendship Peak, which was the first ever winter summit of Friendship Peak. And after that we selected the best 30 members for the Indian Army team. In Delhi also for around 3 months we did our conditioning training, in which we did wall climbing, tent pitching exercises, weight pulling exercises, and a lot of other endurance building exercises.
Mountaineering is a very cerebral sport, so it's just not climbing mountains. You have to prepare for it a lot before climbing the mountains. So it's very important that the climbers are physically and mentally tough and strong. So that's what we train for. And with respect to me as a doctor, I have to just take care that medically and like physically, their endurance is really up to the mark before the climb.
In New Delhi, Dr. Ritesh Goel, who is part of the Indian Army's Team Everest, is busy with medical supplies and testing fitness levels of climbers. This will be his first journey to Everest Base Camp. In another part of the world, approximately 1,200 kilometers away in Nepal's Khumbu district, Icefall doctors, a highly trained team of Sherpas, have begun their work, entering the deadly Khumbu Glacier. Before the climbing seasons begin in early May, these Sherpas must prepare a safe passage across the glacier to Camp 1. They fix ropes and place ladders over deep open crevasses that have appeared between pillars of ice. This is known as the danger zone, as it is the most deadly icefall glacier in the world, cracking, breaking, and shifting after every uncertain minute, with little or no warning. In 2014, the Khumbu Icefall took the lives of 16 Sherpas. Only 13 bodies were recovered. But fear has not deterred these aspiring Summiteers from the Indian Army. This is also Captain P.K. Rai's first trip to Everest Base Camp. He's expected to manage the entire operation from there.
The day I reported here, I was told that I'll be the base camp manager. This was the biggest challenge for me, and we used the experience of the guys who have been there earlier, and we searched on the net, and we took good high-calorie rations with us, very nice light equipment which was required in the high altitude, good clothing. Everything was planned, market survey was done, and then finally procured. Our load started 4 days ahead. We started for Kathmandu. It went through road to Kathmandu.
The climbing team must travel through Nepal's capital city, Kathmandu, the gateway to the Himalayan kingdom and also a major tourist hub. In 1995-96, a little under 4% of the country's GDP came from tourism, but has since considerably fallen due to political unrest. Many of these tourists are mountaineers, aspiring to climb Mount Everest. The Indian Army's Team Everest resumed their tough and grueling training in Kathmandu, combined with a little sightseeing. There are various markets in Kathmandu, but for mountaineers, all roads lead to Tamil Market, also referred to as the pre-base camp for climbers. All types of climbing gear are available here, from clothes to accessories, even equipment, sleeping bags and tents, anything needed to fight absurd temperatures on the journey to Everest. Despite the intense preparation by Major Jamwal and his boys, there is always a possibility of things going drastically wrong. A major stumbling block for Everest Summiteers is the death zone that lies between Camp 4 and the summit, a place where you find yourself in thin air. Here, over 8,000 meters above sea level, only 1/3 of the oxygen normally present remains. Climbers require oxygen bottles due to the low atmospheric pressure at this extreme altitude. And even with oxygen, they face a high risk of cerebral or pulmonary edema, which is excess accumulation of fluid in the brain and lungs, which may prove fatal. Survival is key. A little under 4,500 people have climbed Mount Everest from the Nepal side alone, which is also referred to as the South Col. And out of nearly 250 climbers and Sherpas who have died, a majority of them, nearly 200, have done so right here at the death zone. But will the Indian Army's Team Everest even manage to come this far this time? The team prepares to fly from Kathmandu to Lukla, which is the gateway to the Everest region. But the flight has been delayed due to bad weather at Lukla.
Right now, the airport is closed in Lukla due to bad weather. Weather means actually it's the wind. So when it's a vast wind, we cannot go to Lukla.
After 6 long hours of waiting, Major Jamwal and his team are finally asked to board the flight to Lukla.
My name is A.D. Sherpa. I'm a captain and I've been flying since 18 years. Regarding the Lukla airport, it is known as a very dangerous airport in the world, and we have the Lukla, the landing is only one way, and once you committed for the landing, you have to land.
Surrounded by high mountains, Lukla serves as an entry into the Saga-Martha region. It is not a moachable town, but remains a popular destination for trekkers from across the world.
आज इधर पहुंच गए हैं, all well. अभी बस हम लोग यहाँ lunch करके we are moving to Fagding sir, and everything okay sir.
The journey on foot begins from Lukla to Namche, and this steep slope walk will continue for 9 long hours. As the height increases with every step, these 30 climbers from the Indian Army, along with the NDTV crew, will have a first glimpse of what lies ahead. After a one-night halt at Fagding, the team will resume their journey to Namche Bazaar.
Snowy morning. It's a very good misty morning. Namche Bazaar, as you know, it's at a height of 3440 meters. Namche Bazaar is the administrative headquarters of the Khumbu region. It is also the entry point for the Sagarmatha National Park. There are about 100 odd houses here. You get just about everything here. This place in particular, we get like really good steaks. This is called the International Footrest Lodge. Other than that, all your supplies can be restored here. This is also called the Wi-Fi village. You can also rent a lot of mountaineering equipment here for very cheap. And in case your sleeping bag is not warm enough, you can always exchange it and get a better one here.
From Namche, we started our journey to Tiangboche. It was around 4-hour journey. Tiangboche Monastery is a very famous monastery. All lamas, they prayed for us, prayed for our safety.
From Tengboche Monastery, the team treks to Dingboche, and then to Lo Buche, which is at the height of 4,000 meters. Their next destination, after several night halts, will be Everest Base Camp.
We reached base camp somewhere in the evening. It was a fantastic feeling because you can see almost a flat area on glacier, and you can see all yellow, blue, pink color tents on the glacier. It was a great feeling over there.
Snow-capped mountains, scattered tents with fluttering Buddhist prayer flags welcome the Indian Army to Everest Base Camp. valley is also a melting pot for international climbers. This will be home for Major Jamal and his boys for the coming weeks. Or that's what they believe. They begin their stay by hoisting the Indian flag and setting up tents for the long haul ahead.
This is the first time for both of us to be here at the base camp. Especially we are here for the summit of Everest. And he's the base camp manager. Look how I am charging my mobile phone.
On 24th, we did puja, and puja is actually very important there at the base camp because Sherpas don't allow you to go up, before you do puja, as they believe that Chomolungma, the mother goddess of earth, which is the actual name of Mount Everest, she should be prayed before we move up, and that's the way of taking permission from Chomolungma to do the summit and cross the Khumbu Icefall.
It's only after the Sagamarta Puja, invoking the goddess of Everest, that climbers, along with Sherpas, are allowed to touch the Khumbu Glacier for the very first time.
Today is our first entry into the Khumbu Icefall. It's 25th of April today, and it's snowing now, but we have to go only halfway up to the first ladder. So we'll be practicing the ladder crossing there, and then spending around half an hour or 1 hour there. We'll come down. It's very cold out there now. Most of the teams have aborted their attempts today. We'll be going, and was all set. Their morale is very high, and hope for the best.
When we woke up in the morning, it was a little overcast, and I told Jamie sir, our leader, sir, today it's a little overcast, let's leave it, we'll go tomorrow.
But I told him that, Aukta, this is supposed to be the best time because you won't be sweating and, you won't be seeing so many things or more than, visibility was not more than 100 meters. It was a good day.
Aamir,
the camera person who was supposed to go and shoot all this was not well. Then I decided I should go. I discussed it with Sanjay, my cinematographer Sanjay Agarwal and Rakesh Solanki. They said, no Aamir, it's a lifetime opportunity for you. Go, you will have new experience and you will get a chance to shoot all those moments.
While 22 members of the Indian Army, Sherpas, and NDTV's own Aamir make their way up to the Khumbu Glacier, the team at the base camp is busy setting up communication with the Indian Army headquarters in New Delhi and the team at Khumbu.
As a test call, for the first time I gave a call to the senior JCO and he responded. I checked their location.
We came to the first ladder, we crossed the ladder. Half of us didn't know how you actually encounter the aluminium ladders which are placed there. So we learned it there, practiced it. We moved around 3-4 ladders up, and then at a place we had a break. We talked around and clicked more photographs.
I remember I told the army climber, I told him, sir, please click some pictures of me. First time I'm doing this. I don't know I'll be able to come here again or not. Please click some pictures. We're happy, we're excited.
We are in the middle of the Khumbu Glacier. It's really an honor to just cross the ladders.
What I saw in 2012, what I saw in 2013, Khumbu Glacier has taken a lot of lives. और जैसे हम ऊपर जाते हैं, खड़ी जो लैडर्स हैं वो कभी भी गिर सकती हैं. आपकी जो रोप्स लगी हैं वो कभी भी जैसे ही हरकत की सिरैक ने या हैंगिंग आइस ने, वो आपकी रोप जो है वो कट जाएगी और वो बंदा नीचे गिर सकता है. 2012 में we had seen initially शेरपा हमारे बिल्कुल आगे था and suddenly after 50 meters he went to do a crevasse and within 2 minutes he was dead.
I remember when we reached a ridge of Khumbu Glacier, it was a small ridge with a rope. We all were holding that rope. You don't have any way to go right or left. You can climb up or climb down. I remember there was a huge sound, and everything was shaking.
There were avalanches everywhere.
I told my buddy, Pratap, मैं जा रहा हूँ. नीचे गया, खींच लेना.
I had no idea about my safety.
Ring साहब said, साहब क्रेवास फट रहा है.
आज तो कोई नहीं जाता यहाँ से वापस.
I thought it is Okta, Mingma साहब, they are gone.
Breaking news coming in, a severe earthquake has hit Nepal.
It's the worst quake to hit the eastern Himalayas in 80 years.
A magnitude 7.9 killer that struck 83 kilometers northwest of Kathmandu.
Oblivious to those at the Khumbu Icefall and Base Camp. At exactly the same time, 11:56 a.m. on the 25th of April 2015, the most devastating earthquake strikes Nepal. Its epicenter is Namche, just 240 kilometers from Everest Base Camp.
There was this guy, Sonam Bhote, who was there at the base camp. He told me that, sir, kuch hil raha hai. For the first time, I ignored, it might be an illusion. I just said it might be an illusion, and at that moment, I also felt something. And that was an earthquake. It is a normal phenomenon that if something shakes, the avalanches will be triggered. But we were not knowing that from which direction will it come. We just heard something falling, means something breaking out of Pomori. Within 2 seconds, something fell in front of us. And the volume of the ice that we saw falling down, we were completely sure that it will have us. It was like a movie scene ki something is following us and we are running. We also ran for around about 10 to 15 steps and just turned back, saw that it's already here. Then I got hold of a tent pole. I had one of my base camp member with me. He was sitting with me. I can hear him praying. Towards my right, there was a yellow tent, tiny tent. After 4 seconds, there was no tent, and there were stones and boulders flying in front of our eyes.
Sanjay sir, show me Sanjay sir, show me your head.
ये दोबारा भी आ सकता है, दोबारा भी आ सकता है, सब लोग हाई ग्राउंड पे आओ.
If this was the intensity at the base camp, what could possibly be the fate of climbers 600 meters above them, now trapped in the dangerous Khumbu Glacier?
There were a few Sherpas who started crying next to me. They were supposed to control us. I asked them, what do you want? You are safe. Then what is the problem? We all did a bit counseling. We consoled them.
ठीक हो जाएगा सब. ठीक है ना, हिम्मत बना के रखना है. नीचे पहुंचना है कि नहीं? हैं? नीचे पहुंचना है, ठीक है? बीच में रास्ते में कहीं पे भी गिव अप नहीं करना है. सही बात है. मन में ये रहना है कि जाना है ठीक होके नीचे. ठीक है? दुखी नहीं होना एकदम. ठीक है? बचा लिया ना ऊपर वाले ने. बस. मानची हो, एकछिन एउटा बस. आधे एक काम करो, आधे बंदे यहाँ पे अपना कैंप बनाओ, आधे बंदे चलते हैं रेस्क्यू के लिए वहाँ. हां सही है.
The worry about the team that was in the Khumbu Khumbu Glacier. I shouted for Dhaka. I asked him to get me the Motorola. I need to get in touch with the team.
Motorola लेके आ. Dhaka Motorola. Base camp, pass message over. Base camp, pass message over.
And I was like trying to reach to the team. Actually, I was also getting very impatient at that moment. Ki, matlab, why are they not responding? At some moment, I also thought nothing doing, just get the equipment. I might have to go to the Khumbu Icefall to get them back. Whether I would be able to get them back or not, but I will be there. If they are down there, I will be there.
इंगर साहब ऑल इन हाँ जी डॉक्टर साहब
When we were moving down, it suddenly at a place which was not very far from the place where we turned around. Things started moving. And it was not that we know it's an earthquake. It was just a Khumbu Glacier can move. Khumbu Glacier can do those things of itself. So we thought it's moving.
I saw a huge ice block coming down from the Namche face. And I felt like it is coming on me. But the whole team was fortunate that it went into a crevasse.
And it was all powder thereafter. And it felt something on the chunk we were standing. It started moving. It turned left, it turned right, and it shaked entirely.
And the path was completely changing. The Khumbu Icefall is just filled with cracks. So the whole crevasses were just new crevasses were opening, the old ones were getting covered. And we were hit by two avalanches, one on the left and one on the right.
I was just thinking what is happening. It was not sinking in. I took my camera, it was covered in a polythene bag. I uncovered it, pushed the recording button. I just put it wide. It was just a big white dust which was approaching us from our right side.
And then people are running, shouting. Somebody saying sit down, somebody saying dodo, somebody saying upar dodo. And then there was another avalanche from the right side.
चलो जल्दी चलो अबे
Sir, I am moving आगे का रास्ता
चलो चलो
unable to see anything.
Where I thought कि आज तो कोई नहीं जाता यहाँ से वापस, because with the history of Khumbu, with my own experience, I would have escaped such situation maybe 4 times earlier. But this time I thought that there is no going down. It was certain in my mind that there is no going down.
The only thing which I was thinking was that I have to live. I don't have to die, because there is someone who is waiting for you. My mother, who told, actually I was her only hope. She earned me in her whole life. I lost my father when I was 12 years old. If I died, what will happen to them? Will my mama survive? Can she take this? I was just thinking that thing.
And within those thoughts, there were thoughts of the family also. For a moment, I thought about my wife. But then another thought came, she is strong. I thought she'll take care of parents, she'll take care of herself, she'll handle, don't worry. So that thought stopped there.
दोरजे साहब कहाँ पे? दोरजे साहब का पता नहीं चल रहा।
The intensity we came to know just after the avalanche was settled down. We came to know that the next camp, the British Gorkha camp, and the next to next camp, that was the adventure consultant, they had fatal casualties on the spot.
चलो यार, चलो ना। सर मैं पीछे नहीं रहना चाहता।
After that, when we started running down, I could only tell my boys, just run down, bhago. And when we reached crampon point, I was just hoping and I was just praying to God that it should be all okay.
I've seen avalanches in 2012 and 13 also, but it was very close. It was very, very close. The whole team was huddled up together. Anything could have happened. Anything.
We took account and everybody was okay. And I remember Subadar being or Gurung was the last one to calm down.
बच गया आज पहले ही दिन था खुम्बू ग्लेशियर में बच गए इतना भयानक था जिसको बयान करना बहुत मुश्किल है सबसे बड़ी बात कि हम उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे हम सिर्फ खड़े थे पैरों के नीचे की बर्फ पैरों के ऊपर की बर्फ सब हिल रही थी सिर्फ एक रोप जिसमें पूरी टीम लटकी हुई थी
Sir, what happened to you up there?
Well, I didn't expect the blast, the snow, the wind blast up there. So I was lightly dressed, and I came white in 30 seconds like a snowman. So I put on this after.
Lucky we are.
Lucky we are because it was mild.
The climbers, who had narrowly escaped from what could have been certain death at Khumbu Icefall, however remain oblivious to the devastation at the base camp, where Captain P.K. Rai is in charge.
I say again, base camp, all okay है.
अरे टीम ओके है.
या
ओके बात हो रही है.
अरे don't worry. सब बस अपनी टीम ठीक है.
Luckily, I got through to the senior JCO. He responded कि साहब team all okay. It was almost with heavy waters in my eyes, but I knew that I'm not supposed to cry.
There were calls made to the base camp, team is fine and all. Mingmar Saab was behind me. He was speaking to PK and asking him, telling him that we are fine and you don't worry and we'll be there in another half an hour. So I took the phone from him, just like that, just to play prank with him. And I said, "Yaar, kya kar raha tu? Tumne pani nahi garam kiya abhi tak. I want good hot warm water when I come there. And I want you to be standing at the gate." And he didn't tell me anything about the base camp at that time. He just said, "Okay, it will be done types."
अरे गरम पानी रखा है, चिंता मत करो. गरम पानी पिलाऊंगा सबको.
But I thought कि I should not tell him that there is no gate now at our camp location. And I found that the cameraman Sanjay ji, he was hit. He was bleeding. My another base camp member, he was hit. The CHM who flown away by the avalanche, he twisted his wrist and they all were bleeding, but the energy of those guys were like they have survived and they will live.
Good.
The moment they came to know that their team is okay, they started we'll get them from the wherever point we can reach, and they started off for the Khumbu Glacier.
While coming down, the things got clear. It came into our notice that something big has happened at base camp. It is not a minor thing because we started seeing tents, we started seeing utensils there, and we were still around 200 to 300 meters away from the base camp.
ये अपना स्लीपिंग बैग लग रहा है क्या?
हमारा तो नहीं यार. हाँ? वो दूसरा वाला का उधर का है. हमारे यहाँ कहाँ पहुँचेगा? हमारे इधर नहीं है यार. देखेंगे हमारे इधर नीचे जाना पड़ेगा. हाँ.
बाद में देखते हैं अभी चलो.
About 15 minutes, I also decided that I'll go ahead because they might not recognize the camp location because everything was covered in ice. I waited there and the first few guys started coming in. I could easily notice the energy of the team after seeing the flag in my hand.
वो आगे देखो team.
It was a really good sight to see the base camp manager. He was waving the Indian flag. So that's how we spotted that area where he was. And we walked up to him, we hugged. But that's when we looked around and everything was just flat. It was completely flat.
Are you all right?
I'm okay.
It's emotions. जब एक्चुअली मर रहे थे तब सोचने का वक्त नहीं लगा, पर इधर अभी बेस कैंप में आके ये देख के लगता है कि पता नहीं किसने बचा दिया.
We both knew that we both survived. We both went through something and it is not to be discussed. It is just the feelings that needs to be felt.
सर
पत्थर लगा क्या तुमने?
कोई नहीं.
तो गिर गया था पूरा?
हाँ जी.
पूरा जी पूरा फेंक.
यहाँ फेंको ऊपर है सीधे.
मतलब वहाँ से इधर गिर के.
चतर सर हम अपने टेंट में थे, बाहर निकले जैसे.
It was really scary when we reached there. People were injured, people were dead, and there was a time, when we decided that we'll distribute ourselves into 2 teams because our own things were also all blown away. I told Okta and PK Rai to take care of our own team, which will start searching our own stuff because we had nothing left. whatever we were wearing, only those things were with us.
इंगर साहब बंदे इकट्ठे करो सारे अपना सामान पूरा इकट्ठा करो सब ना इधर उधर देखना बंद कर दो अपना टेंट लगाओ दो कैसा तुझे पता है किधर किधर सामान क्या है अपनी 2 टीमें साथ में लेके निकलो और अपना जो सामान है सिर्फ अपना वो ले आओ फिलहाल टेल एवरीबॉडी टू गेट अराउंड एंड गेट एवरीथिंग व्हाट इज आवर्स सबको लगवाओ नए वाले टेंट तो इरेक्ट करो जो सामान मिलता जाता है उसमें डालते रहो और
We recollected ourselves.
आप लोग संभालो इधर टेंट लगाना
We composed ourselves. We were the team everyone was looking at. They were looking that Indian Army is there. They'll come. They'll help us. And we had to stand up to the occasion.
Each stretcher takes maybe 6 people. If you have some strong men who could carry down a patient, and then
where
come
exactly
back.
you can
The white tent.
I'll send 6 boys from here.
If you have a kitchen that works to make hot water, the doctors down there would like hot water.
We'll do. It is our,
We're just getting
we'll be honored for that.
I will speak to you tonight because I will also be here.
We have rations with us. We'll serve people.
I'm going to see which teams can give help to the doctor.
We'll definitely do that.
Thank you for your help.
For me, the big thing was Indian Army, they just सब कुछ छोड़ा and went to work. Some people started putting tents, some people started to go for rescue. Doctor started, he took his bag and went to HRA to help people. And I was like, wow, we have not eaten anything since morning. It's 3 p.m. We just survived from this and they started running to help people.
I immediately ran to the medical tent. Luckily, the medical tent survived. I don't know how it survived.
This is my room. Yes, this is my room. This is the only thing that the guys could save, yeah? Just a लोगों की हालत कुछ की काफ़ी नाजुक है नीचे यहाँ पे जो हॉस्पिटल है वहाँ पे काफ़ी लोग हैं किसको ऑक्सीजन चल रहा है किसको क्या ये तो नाक से खून निकलना तो नॉर्मल बात है HRA में सारी मेडिसिन खोल रखी है हाँ एक साथ सारे मरीज को ट्रायल करके देख रहे हैं
saw the people, gave them first aid, and then our team went for the rescue with Ritesh. So our boys who acted as stretcher bearers, who picked people from various places and took them to the nearest medical aid post, which was made on the bottom of the Everest Base Camp.
There were all sorts of casualties, mostly to head injuries and polytraumas like too many fractures. We started sending them down. The guys had to carry them all the way for 200 to 300 meters on the glacier and shift them in those tents that I'm talking about, the field hospital that we had set up, like in a makeshift tent.
Aftershocks.
Okay, everyone, don't run. Don't run. Not running. Wait. Running.
Down. Wait.
Easy.
Hello.
Reach the back.
Relax.
Don't worry.
Standing. Relax.
मत दौड़ो ऐसे यार आप ऐसे दौड़ोगे आपको उड़ा के ले जाएगा इकट्ठे रहो केवल इधर आओ सवाल इधर आओ
नेक्स्ट टाइम आना है ना एक दूसरे को पकड़ लो यही खड़े रहो
सब दिख रहा है
Multiple earthquakes are followed by several aftershocks at the base camp. More avalanches are certain to follow.
देखो यहाँ से
Yes, ये लकड़ा हटा दो शेल्टर ये
आएगा ब्लास्ट आएगा
नहीं
ब्लास्ट आएगा हवा का जो
This is why doctors, including Dr. Ritesh Goel from the Indian Army, have created a makeshift medical tent 400 meters below the base camp to protect climbers and Sherpas who are critical.
The situation was very different. It's not something that you experience every day. In a hospital, things are under control. But here it was very difficult as well as very, very challenging because everything is you. I'm the ward boy, I'm the sister, and I'm the doctor. I was mostly taking care of the head injuries, and it's really not a really good sight to see them because we were losing patients too. There were 14 who were immediately dead. There were quite a lot of people who died throughout as we were seeing the patients. We could save 8 to 12.
फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड है, सुबह होगी, काम में लगेंगे।
सॉरी, तबीयत भी सबकी खराब हो गई है।
प्रॉमिस है कि जितने आए थे सारे वापस जाएंगे, पक्का।
Morning our rescue started. Luckily weather was slightly better than the 25th. It was not snowing, it was still foggy, but the helicopters guys did a tremendous job there by landing helicopters at base camp in the foggy condition also. It really helped us in rescuing people there. In fact, not only us, not only Indian Army, but the team of IMG, the Hymex group, the Asian guys who were there. It was a basically humane thing which was there happening there, and a lot of guys were helping each other to evacuate the casualties as soon as possible there.
We are very impressed with the Indian Army that even though there were a lot of tents and a lot of people were injured even in an Indian camp, but the Indian Army they mobilized their people and they did a great job by supplying medical needs, and they did a rescue a lot of people, and I would say a lot of people's lives have been saved by Indian Army.
And after the rescue part was over, things started settling down. Most of the climbing teams, they left base camp in next 2-3 days. Most of the Sherpas also, they left base camp in next 2-3 days. Then we found that there were a lot of debris which were there at the Everest Base Camp. People have not obviously cleared it. A lot of teams who have met with lots of casualties, they have gone down, and that was a point when we started doing our cleaning things there. We started from one that is from the western side of the ridge. We started cleaning the glacier there, and to our surprise also there were foreigners who joined us.
The Indian Army's Team Everest had come with the purpose to clean the mountain of its garbage on their journey to the top. Now that the climb has been aborted, they are keen to complete their mission. Only this time round, it is debris of a very different kind, the aftermath of a catastrophic natural disaster.
To end the whole trip on doing something good environmentally, I think will maybe help me get through this a little easier. I really wonder what would have happened if the Indian Army team would not have done this cleanup.
The Indian Army team spent the entire day out there. It's quite hot, it's difficult work in the middle of the day, and retrieved most of the debris that was blown out there and brought it back and placed it beneath camps. And I wish to say my sincere thanks from every member of the Indian Army team for being strong and confident and showing leadership.
After everyone has been evacuated from base camp, it is now time for the Indian Army to head back, knowing that they have narrowly escaped death on the mountains. For many, like Major Ranveer Singh Jamwal, this is definitely not a final goodbye, as he will attempt to summit Everest again next year. But for some, it is just the beginning of a long journey from just being Summiteers to Saviours.